Hi, I'm Fariha Salahuddin, and today I'm going to talk about something that silently erodes progress: overthinking. You know the drill. Let me get more information. Let's wait for the right moment. Let's give it another thought. Let's wait for that perfect data and information. But guess what? Not making a decision is also a decision. And today, there are several books and authors. They claim that human beings have never been great in forecasting many events. See pandemic, wars, market crashes. So there's always this 80-20 rule. Sometimes we have the facts and we make the decision and it's the correct one. But sometimes it's not. And that is something that we all need to understand when making a decision. That there is no perfect information. There is no perfect data. There is no perfect moment. Whatever we know at that particular time, we have to make a decision. Because guess what? People admire leaders, individuals who move forward, who take action, regardless whether the outcome is a success or a failure. Because people silently are observing that courage and the ability to move forward without having that perfect information. Whereas, look at individuals who overthink, overanalyze, try and look at the same problem from different angles. Somehow they get stuck. The underlying reason is because they're lacking that courage. And courage is not easy to get because courage is not something that is inbuilt. In fact, the fear is very real. But people who eventually become courageous or who are brave enough to confront their fear, they move forward. Sometimes they make a great decision, sometimes they make a wrong decision because they know deep down, no matter what happens, they have this innate capacity to deal with that situation. And that is the crux of decision making. And if you look at history, there have been leaders who made perfect decisions, and then there have been examples where people made wrong decisions. Because every time when we look in the past, we know the vision is clear. It's 6 by 6. We know that we could have done this differently. The problem is when we are moving forward. And today, the ability to move forward and make decision in an ambiguous environment is what will define a true leader, whether in the corporate setting or any other field. In fact, if you look at many talent models or leadership competencies, ability to make decision in an ambiguous situation is one of the finest qualities that most corporates are looking for in leaders and in individuals. Because if you have all the facts, all the information, and the situation is perfect, anybody can move forward. But it's very difficult to move forward when you don't have full information, when the environment is just not right. So you use your head, heart, and gut while making that decision. Why do we overthink or why do we avoid making decisions? Number one, because we fear that we'll be judged if we make a wrong decision. Number two is the anxiety. So we don't have that innate confidence that we will be able to manage that situation, whatever the outcome will be. So we get anxious and we avoid making a decision. Number three, it's the overthinking, that loop in our mind that doesn't stop, and somehow we get entangled in that loop and we avoid moving forward. Another reason leaders don't make decisions because they don't want to confront any conflict. They want to avoid conflict at any cost because they feel if they make a decision, it will lead to some kind of conflict. Now, it's almost impossible for anyone to make a decision and not to confront any conflict. Sometimes that conflict is internal, sometimes it is in the environment. And this is where the bravery, the courage is required. Because the real peace isn't the absence of conflict. It is the ability to think clearly and take full accountability of your action. That's where you get the courage, that's where people admire you, and that's where you have peace within because it's in line with your own values. So in summary, stop falling in your own trap, that is, let's wait for more information, let's wait for the perfect timing, or get more information or input from others, because that's not going to solve the problem. And certainly do not avoid conflict, because if the decision involves some kind of conversation, some kind of dialogue, go ahead and do it. Because guess what? When you make a decision, it may be correct, it may be right, or it may be wrong. But that's not how you will be judged. You will be judged what you do next after that. And more importantly, do you have the perseverance to stick to your decision? And do you have the humility, if you make a wrong decision, you take full accountability and accept it? That's how people will admire your quality. If you're looking for transformation in your leadership style, join my one-to-one coaching or join Growth Gatherings, a platform where like-minded individuals, they gather, they inspire, motivate, and challenge each other. If you like the content of this video, share with your friends and family, and don't forget to like and subscribe my channel.